Hello everyone and welcome back to another Universe Sandbox 2 video, and today we're going to be doing a remastered version of a very old video. So a lot of you guys have been requesting for quite a while that I colonize all the planets again in the newer version of the game. And yeah, it's been an absolute long time since I last did this. Last time we did this, or the only time I did this for a video, which was just so far back now, I did this in 2016. It has been 3 years almost since I did this. So yeah, a lot of people wanted to see me do it again and do a remastered version, and a lot of people weren't around back then, so maybe they don't even know I made that video. But yeah, today we're going to be colonizing all of the planets in the solar system. So without further ado, we'll just get straight into this. So we'll head to Mercury first. Now what we need to do with Mercury first is we need to cool it down. So we're going to increase the albedo on here. We need it to reflect more light, so it will cool it down. So we're going to have the albedo pretty high, because we want it around 20-ish degrees, somewhere around there. So the albedo will have to be very high. The surface pressure will need to increase as well, because if we're going to colonize it for humans, we need to have the surface pressure similar to an Earth atmosphere. So that would warm it up quite a lot. Because if you have a surface pressure too low, humans wouldn't be able to survive very well. So I'm going to try and keep it at 1 ATM. How will that cope? So we are very close to the sun, so 1 ATM, got to be careful with that. And also due to Mercury's orbit, its orbit will change. So we have to just be careful how hot and cold it gets at each part of its orbit. So let's speed it up a bit. Okay, so it does go into the minuses there, but I'm assuming it will warm up again when it comes back round. So how hot will it go at its hottest point? So at its hottest point, it goes to about 27 degrees. Okay, so I think that would work at 1 ATM there. So now what we need to do is we've got to add some water to it. So instead of just adding in water the usual way, we'll do it the fun way. We'll shoot some water asteroids onto it. Why not? So asteroid. Let's see. I don't know. Can we do that? No. We want to use. It's not asteroid. We want tools, material, and then we want to shoot water to it. So we want to shoot some little asteroids of water. So we're going to start shooting it. And that'll add plenty of water. I mean, we've done it straight away. That was enough water to completely make the world an ocean now. So what we want to do is just want to decrease the amount. I mean, we can't get it exactly perfect the way we want it, so we'll just have to manually change it actually. But there we go. We can add some water to it. We've actually got some clouds appearing now, because back when I made that original video, we didn't have modded planets. So now we have a modded Mercury. We can actually see the atmosphere and the clouds now. So it gives a little more to the planet than just having it as a very plain looking object. But now we can actually have a little more customization to it with the custom clouds. So now if we speed the simulation up, as we get closer to the sun, the ice will melt down and it will turn into a normal ocean like that. So there we are. And then as it goes around the sun, it will warm up a bit more. So Mercury would be quite a weird vacation spot in theory, because you could have a nice hot summer there, but in the winter you could have actually quite a cold winter. So the seasons would be a lot different to what we'd see on Earth here, along with the planet's much slower rotation as well. But yeah, there we go. So Mercury is now colonized up with a sort of a 2-season sort of area. It looks like the winter on it is a lot shorter than the summer though. So yeah, there we go. There is Mercury done. But now moving on to Venus, which is overheating again for some reason. I don't know why it's doing that. Its albedo should be at 88%. Around 88%. So that's what Venus is normally like, around 400 degrees. So first of all, instead of adding atmosphere, we're going to need to remove atmosphere. So we're going to put it down to 1 ATM instead of 82 or whatever it was. So we're going to lower that, and that should hopefully start to cool the planet down to a more Earth-like temperature. In theory, it should make it even colder than the Earth, since it reflects so much light. So yeah, we'll look underneath the atmosphere, the surface. So how hot or cold will that get? So we may actually have to remove some of the atmosphere. Yeah, it looks like we will. So we're going to have to actually lower the albedo a bit, so it'll warm up a bit more. So we'll keep it around the 20, 30 sort of degree area. So around there. So we'll have to lower the albedo just a tad bit. About how much atmosphere we got? Okay, yeah, 1 ATM. That's fine. Right, so now we're at 19 degrees. So that is suitable. So now what we want to do is we want to add material again. I'm going to shoot a bit more water, just like that. Oh, and it instantly added it again. Okay, awesome. So there we go. You can see the red clouds there looking very cool. So we're going to lower the... Okay, it does that again. I hate it when the game does that. Right, so we just have to manually do it then, since adding material just won't have it. So there we go. So now we can get our colonized looking Venus there. Looking very good now. So there we go. That is looking a lot more friendly than what it was before. So obviously it would still have its atmosphere. That would obviously, or the atmosphere probably would change if its surface changed to a lot of water like that. But yeah, that is now a pretty colonised up Venus right there, along with its atmosphere on it. So yeah, there we go. But actually I may have another variant we could add into that actually, because in theory, if Venus was colonised and we started growing stuff on it, in theory we could have a terraformed Venus. So if I go ahead and spawn that in there, so once we've terraformed it, it probably would eventually turn into this. So here it is here. I think this was made by Anonymous here, but this is a colonised Venus. So if we look here, the atmosphere is a lot thinner now, and it's actually, the ground's got a bit of vegetation on it. So you can see here, the ground's looking slightly more green. So in theory, once you colonise it and add the water, it would look more like that. So we can go ahead and delete the original Venus, because in theory, that's obsolete now. We've terraformed it, and it would result in this. So yeah, we'll stick with that object now. But yeah, we've colonised it all up. It's just chilling around the perfect temperature there. It's got albedo's a bit too high there actually. It's at 1 albedo. We'll lower that a bit. So there we go. So we don't want it to completely like freeze up. So how hot is it getting now? Surface pressure is still at 1 atm. Or even as a climate mode we could use. Oh no, that gets rid of the vegetation. No, we don't want to do that. Okay, so how hot is it getting now? Okay, so it's still a little too warm. So we'll put it back to about 80. Which was what it was on there, so that will cool down. So we'll just put it to 0, reset it there, and we'll call it Venus as well. But yeah, colonising Venus would result in the atmosphere probably getting thinner, because yeah, you wouldn't be able to have a thick atmosphere like that. That atmosphere would have to be cleaned out, because if the atmosphere stayed like that, the greenhouse effect would still be too much. So yeah, that Venus is what our colonisation would result in eventually. So yeah, we'll have that nice Venus in there. Earth, obviously, we don't need to colonise. So now moving on to Mars. Same process with Mercury. We need to add some atmosphere to it, so we're going to put it to about 1.2 atmosphere mass of Earth. Yeah, Earth ATM. So that will hopefully warm it up a bit. We'll use climate mode as well, why not? So that's now at 5 degrees. So now what we need to do is, again, we're going to add some water to it. So we're going to go with material. Yeah, I'll just turn all this down actually. And there you go, so we add some clouds to it. Click it a bit more. Oh, there you go. Since I've lowered the rate, now we can actually add it manually. So there we go. We'll keep shooting water on it, and that would eventually result in this. Look how big the volcano is. It has its own island there. That's pretty cool. But yeah, there we go. So now we have a colonized Mars. Looking good. Very nice indeed. I think I do have a green variant of that as well, but it's not really necessary since it only really adds a bit of green to it. It's not like Venus where it makes the atmosphere thinner as well, because you can't really do that without messing with the game's code. But since Mars has already got a thin atmosphere, we don't need to change anything. So there is Mars. Also got a nice like area in the north and south there. It's just chilling at 1 degree as well, so we'll have to increase the atmosphere a bit more. Hopefully that'll warm it up. So that's 3. Okay, so how's that doing? Yeah, 17.3 degrees. We'll turn climate mode back on there. Alright, cool. So now we've got a colonized Mars there. So that temperature should hopefully stay around the Earth temperatures. Since we have more atmosphere mass than Earth, it will give it a little more greenhouse effect than Earth has. So we need that when we're further away. Alright, now moving on, we're going to head to Jupiter next. So yeah, the next planet. Now what we're going to need to do with Jupiter is, we've got to remove a lot of atmosphere. I mean, all that hydrogen has got to go. So we're going to lower that all the way down until it gives us this. So it's just a ball of silicate right there. So what we're going to do with Jupiter now is, this needs a lot of atmosphere added because, yeah, right now it has got nothing. So, yeah, we're going to have to go ahead and add some atmosphere. So, we'll go with about 5 atmospheres of Earth. So, will that be enough? I'm not sure. Put it at 0 degrees. Okay, it's getting colder again. We'll lower the albedo. Even that doesn't help. So, yeah, we're going to need an even heavier atmosphere here. So, we're going to go with 10 Earth atmospheres because at this distance, we're going to need it. Still getting colder. Okay, 20 Earth atmospheres. Or 50 atmospheres. No, 20. There we go. Still getting colder. 30. Okay, 30 is where it starts to warm up. Okay, so how hot will that go? Let's just put it at 40 degrees and see how much it cools down to. About 20. 10. Okay, so it warms up, or it's above 0 but below 10. Okay, so we're going to have to, I'm going to put it up to 35 ATM. That'll hopefully give it a little more boost. Right there, the albedo's fine at 8 there, so it does absorb a lot of the light because it will need to. Okay, so there we go. Right, I'm actually going to go ahead and save this because we're going to need to reopen this simulation to customize Jupiter's surface. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call it colonized. Nope, hang on. There we go. Solar system. And, oh my god, my spelling's all off. I'm clicking all the wrong keys. Colonized solar system remastered. as yeah, this is a remastered. I mean, haven't done this in a long time, but a lot of people have asked for it, so I thought, why not? Let's do it. So yeah, there we go. Right, so now if we just search Colo, there we go. Let's go into it. Actually, I wonder if I still have the old simulation in here. I have to check that out if I do. Do I? Colonized? No. Let's see. Let's see if I have it saved. The really old version, solar system. Do I have any version of it? No, that's the new one. Jupiter, old solar system, water world, terraform. No, that's not. No, that's not mine. That was one of your guys' systems. Don't think I have it saved anymore. That's a shame. But yeah, there we go. So now we've got Jupiter with a nice blue atmosphere here. 12 degrees, just chilling at that. Right, cool. The mass of Jupiter's gone down by 1 Earth for some reason there. All right, so now what we want to do is, we need to reopen this simulation now. So there we go. Solar system remaster. All right, there we go. So we can go into it, and now we can customize these surface colors. So before we do that though, we are going to want to add some water to it. So material, do the same once again, shoot some water into it. Go. Oh, so now it's all frozen up at 14 degrees. Okay, so it may be a victim of the frozen glitch here, which is going to be very annoying. So there we go. Right, so I'm guessing if we add and remove, is it going to do anything? Still frozen at the moment. Huh. Even when I do it in the menu, it freezes. Okay, what if I do this? Is that gonna... No? Why is it frozen? 15 degrees, game. What are you doing there? And it's warming up. It shouldn't be frozen. That's not right. Remove. That's very peculiar why it's frozen. I'm not sure why it's doing that. That's very weird, even though it's at 15 degrees and nothing's changing. Right, anyways, we'll move on to the land while that makes its mind up. So I'm going to go with a very dark sort of forest-like colour for Jupiter, with a sort of sandy sort of green there as well. Okay, just going to have to remove a lot more. Yeah, it's very weird why it's not melting. That is very strange. Okay, there we go. So that's looking good. So we've got the big colonized Jupiter now, but why is it not warming up? 50 degrees? Any way to get that to melt? That should melt. That is very weird. It's had a bit of iron to it as well. Make it a gas giant again, and then remove the gas, because that should be a way to add the water back. That's very weird. Oh, there we go. Is that gonna... Still frozen looking water, even though it's what temperature it's at. That's very strange why it's doing that. So there we are. Right, I'll leave it like that for now. Save it and reopen it. There we go, maybe that will help. So there we go, open. There we are. Going to, where is it? Colonized Solar System Remastered. So hopefully when we click play, it will stay the way it is. Okay, so it's 40 degrees now, and it's frozen again. Ah, you are not nice. Okay, that's very annoying, but it says 30 degrees, so that water should be melted. There's nothing we can do about it, so we'll just have to move on for now. That's very annoying. Alright, there we go. Alright, moving on to Saturn next. So again, same process with Saturn. We're going to remove all that hydrogen, because that's got to go. Alright, so I'll make the planet smaller there. Saturn is now frozen as well, so what we are going to want to do with Saturn is, I'm going to close it, reopen it, so we can add the atmosphere to it. Alright, so surface pressure, we're going to need even more than Jupiter, so let's put it up to 55 to start off with. Put it to 0 degrees, it's cooling down, 70 ATM, still cooling down, so it's quite hard to get greenhouse effect out here. You've got to really have it high. Okay, 90, that's what Venus would normally have, pretty much. No, got to go higher than Venus's atmosphere pressure. Again, still too much, 150. Still cooling down. Lower the albedo as well. Still getting colder. I mean, to get these guys with liquid water, you really have to increase the atmosphere pressure. I mean, that is very high, but that's finally warming up now by the looks of it. Yeah, it's warming up. So hopefully that will melt. So we'll go ahead and lower some of the water on it as well. There we go. So we're going to need that to be lowered a lot. So hopefully it will turn into an ocean world there. So there we go. Right, that's a little too much actually, have to add a bit more, but at least Saturn seems to be cooperating more than Jupiter was, so that's good. It's got a dark atmosphere colour here as well, there we are. This one's got one of the original coloured atmospheres, one of the boring, super boring dark brown atmospheres that don't even really have clouds, so that's quite annoying. Okay, I'm going to add that and remove it, just so we can get a different surface texture underneath. I'll stick with that one, why not? There we go. Okay, so now we have Saturn. We'll make this one quite more like an ocean world as well. Why not? So there we go. So, right, there we go. So it'll be like a vacation holiday spot there. Right, so I'm going to do that. Then we're going to close it and reopen it so we can customize these surface colors. So I'm going to make this one like a sandy sort of beach color. So there we go. Reopen it up. Where is it? I keep losing sight of it. It's there. There we go. Right, there we go. So now we can go into it, open the menu, and then we can customize. Perfect. So low elevation, that'll mostly all be underwater, I'm assuming. Yeah, we can't really customize that. But the mid elevation, we should be able to, yeah, we can get a bit of color there. So I'm gonna go with like a sandy sort of yellow color, something like that. And then the high elevation will go with like a green, like a dark sort of green. So it gives it like the impression of like a sandy beach sort of area with the green trees and the yellow sort of sand. I'll make the green a little more vibrant, brighter in color, just so it's more noticeable. That green is too much. There we go. I think that is looking a lot more suitable, and I think the colors blend better there. So if we just take the atmosphere off. So it's just got a very, very dark brown atmosphere, very boring atmosphere, but I'm not going to bother modding this or anything right now. So yeah, we'll leave it the way it is. So there we go. So now if we click play, that will hopefully stay in the positive temperatures there. You can see the very dark clouds on it. You can see them in the menu up here, but you can't even see them in the game itself. But you can see it's got some very, very dark clouds, which are just so dark you can't even spot them. But even on flashlight mode, it's not too much different. You still can't see the clouds at all. But yeah, there we go. So it's a lot of islands. It almost reminds me of the Maldives, but this area here would be the main continent. But then it's got all of these islands in the ocean here. I mean, look at all this, a lot of islands there. But yeah, there we go. So that is Saturn now colonized up. So there we go. So we'll now leave Saturn and head on to Uranus now. So it's going to be even harder than Saturn now, since we're even further away from the sun. But yeah, here it is. So there we go. Again, same process as the other two. We're going to need to remove all of that. There we are. Now atmosphere. We're going to have to close it. There's a lot of closing and reopening in here. But there we go. So we go to temperature, atmosphere, ATM. We're going to push that up to 100. I mean, what was Saturn? We'll put this at 300 to start off with. So again, Uranus also has a very dark atmosphere there. But there's nothing we can really do about that. Going to lower the albedo again. Okay, so that's actually going to warm it up. So this would have to reflect a very little amount of light. I'm going to go 305 ATM on this guy, just to give it a little more boost to warm it up. Infrared emission, we'll put all the way up. Okay, so how hot will that go? 20 degrees. Okay, it's cooling down. Okay, 350 ATM. Is that going to warm it up? Keep it, or is it going to stay around there? Not sure how that's going to work. But anyway, let's remove some of this water, because that is way too much. We'll have a bit of land on this one compared to Saturn. Or we could have an all-water world. I mean, that's a very low amount of islands there. So, yeah, we'll have a bit more than that. And Uranus is still rotating on its side as well, so it's very, very funny. But yeah, there we go. There's quite a lot of land there. I'm going to re-add the gas, though, because I want a different surface texture. There we go. Well, it's very funny on its side. I'm not used to seeing them like that. There we go. Just try and get the texture I want. How's that looking? No, definitely not that one. Never been a fan of that one. Let's see here, keep going. Yeah, I think I'll roll with that, why not? So there we go, gonna add a bit more there. Right, then I'm gonna go ahead and save it. Here we go. Then reopen it once more so we can edit it again. So solar system remastered, there we go. Right, now we can go into the settings. We can change the color on it so we can make it look a little more beach-like, I guess. So we can add some low elevation there. We'll make it more of a forest-like object compared to Saturn's like beach-like area. So it's a very like foresty sort of planet here. So there we go. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. No, that's too much. There we go. And then the high elevation will have as a white area to represent mountains and stuff. I think I did that with in my original video as well. If I remember right, I think I gave Uranus a bright white colour for the high elevation. I can't remember. I think I did. Right, there we go. Just make the colours blend a little easier. Oh, that's too bright. Try and get them to like a forest sort of mountainous planet. This one there, still rotated on its side as well to give it that extra effect. But there we go. Let's go back onto realistic lighting now. See, it's very dark out here, but right now only this area is facing the star. So all of this area is in the dark at the moment, so we can't even see the sun. But yeah, there we go. That is Uranus colonized. So there we go. And now moving on to the last planet, Neptune here. Because I'm not going to... I mean, I could try colonizing Planet 9, but I don't think it'll be very successful. But yeah, moving on to this. Remove all of that. Then we need to close it. Add an atmosphere to it. So let's see. So yeah, we'll need a very big atmosphere. We're going to start off with 500 ATM. There we go. This one's again rocking with that very dark coloured atmosphere, unfortunately. Put it to 0 degrees. Okay, it's getting cold already. So it's going to need a lot of ATM. 600 ATM. Just to get it to warm up. 700. There you go, now it's warming up. 20 degrees. Need it to survive around there. 10 degrees. Still cooling down. Okay, 750. 9 point. Okay, it's warming up. All right, awesome. So there we go. Then water. We're going to want to remove all of that. It seems like this one's having similar problems with Jupiter, which is quite annoying. So there we go. It's very, very dark as well. So not getting much light here. So actually, I think we should stick with the theme of this being a colder object. So in theory, the surface would be a white colour. So we're going to make this like a snow sort of world. Not too cold, but we'll have it around 0, 1 degrees, somewhere around there. Just to keep it above the positive temperature. So there we go. Right, now let's see how this guy does. So we click play. Alright, so luckily it hasn't completely messed up like Jupiter has. So yeah, mid and high, I'm going to have that. But in the low elevation, we'll have a very dark sort of green. Actually, mid elevation, it looks like the dark green's all underwater. So I want this one to look like a snowy sort of area. So not too much trees and stuff. I definitely want more land on this one as well. There we go. Very dark, sort of dark and gloomy area. Not too much life here. It's very, very dark. So there we go. Very light, pale, military sort of green here. It's a little too... That's it. I'm going to change the surface texture again. There we go. That's looking better. I like that one more. So there we go. Just a tad more water. There we go. That's looking good. So yeah, very dark and gloomy world here. Not too much life, honestly. Let's go with like a dark sand colour, actually. Let's try. There we go. Yeah, I'm buying that. That's looking good. Just a little more on the colour there. So it's very like dark, sandy, swamp-like world. A very cold swamp is what the sort of vibe I'm getting from the colour here. So also you add the atmosphere. Oh, the atmosphere's already on it, but see, yeah, there we are. So very, very dark here, cold, 10 degrees. I'm going to actually put the ATM back to 700. So does that put it above 0 degrees? Yes, it does. Okay, that's what I want. So hopefully that'll warm up a bit more, so it'll melt again. But yeah, we want it around that very cold sort of temperature there. So 5 degrees. Can it hold 5 degrees? It looks like it's frozen again, but it can hold about 5 degrees. Okay, that's fine. So add that. It's re-triggered the frozen problem there. So there we go. Let's do that. Save it. Hopefully it will stay the way it is. So when we go back into it, it should be... Yeah, let's go. Where is it? There we go. God, I keep losing sight of where it's saved. All right, there we go. So click play. It's frozen again. Why'd you have to do that, game? That's not fun. Damn. That's annoying. Add remove. Add remove. Add remove. Let's see if that fixes it. It's very funny how you fix this little problem in the game. So there we go. Yeah, I really like the way I've customized that. Really dark and gloomy sort of swamp is definitely the sort of look that has a... Right, there we go. Right, let's try one more time. If it doesn't work, I guess it's tough like Jupiter. Play, and there you go. I fixed it. All right, cool. So sometimes you have to click back and forth for it to work. It's very strange, but yeah, very, very cold, gloomy object at Neptune here. So think how dark it is as well, especially with the atmosphere. That's with and without the atmosphere. So even without the atmosphere, it's still very dark. But yeah, there we go. So there's Neptune colonized. And then moving on to Pluto. We'll do Pluto as well with the nice white atmosphere it has. But first thing I'm going to do with Pluto, for certain reasons, I'm going to put the mass at 1 moon. Because if you have it less than that, the object continually loses mass all the time. It just doesn't work. So you have to have it, to colonize stuff, you have to have it just above 1 massive moon. So there we go. The radius is still the same. So it's just, I've just increased the mass for it just to make it more convenient. So now with Pluto, we're going to put a big atmosphere on this as well. So it's about similar to Neptune. So we're going to go 750 ATM, reset to 0 degrees, lower the albedo, play. That warms up. Nice. How hot will that go? 7 degrees. That's warming up pretty nicely. Alright, then we're going to want to add some water to it. I really do like the Pluto when it's colonized. I think it looks really cool with this white atmosphere it has. So I'm going to go on Studio just so we can see what we're doing. So there we go. Look at the blue on it. It looks so good with the white atmosphere, which is also custom modded as well in the game files. But yeah, there we are. So I want to just spam click that a bunch to get the colonized Pluto. I really like the way Pluto looks. It looks so good when you colonize it. So yeah, there we are. Right, looking good. Right, well, yeah, 1 massive moon. Right, I'm going to go ahead and save that. That's a pretty quick colonization right there. So there we go. Open it up again. Go back into it. There we go. I found it that time. Play. And there you go. 9 degrees. Okay, it's cooling down a bit. So we're going to... Oh, it's actually smoking and losing material as well. That's annoying. 800 ATM. Why is it cooling down? That's not right. It was fine the way it was before. 900. Warm up. There you go. And it was losing material there as well. That's why you need to have the mass a little more. Okay, I'm going to put it to 2 moons then. Stop losing mass. There we go. And that's going to make me need to change the atmosphere again. 1800 ATM. Ho, ho. It's pretty hot right there. So we can increase the ATM a bit. So Pluto will be quite a hot area by the looks of it with the 1800s. That's ridiculous. 1000. How's it cope at 1000? Is it still warming up a bit more there? 20 degrees. Okay, it's warming up again. Alright, cool. So I'm going to just do this again. Do this trick. Hopefully fix the frozen problem. There we go. That stupid glitch. Right, there we go. That looks so good. Right, here we go. Save. Replace. How many times have I replaced it? It's just going to fill up my bin folder full of these. There we go. Right, click play. There you go. Alright, awesome. 24, and it's increasing temperature. Alright, cool. So hopefully that won't freeze over no more. But yeah, okay, game, you can do that. That's nice. What a fail that was. Why is it going to do that? I mean, come on. That's just not nice. I mean, please fix this Universe Sandbox team. This is the most annoying thing in gaming right now. It's just, oh god, it's so frustrating. Right, there we go. Right, I'm not even going to click play. I'm just going to leave it like that. Right, so there's Pluto. Right, what else could we do? I mean, we can do Eris. Actually, no, hang on. No, I can't, because it will mess it up if I add water to that or like change it. So I'm going to leave Eris where it is. But I guess lastly we could try Planet. Actually, no, we can't. I don't think Planet 9 can even get sunlight, so I don't think that's going to help it at all. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. I don't think Planet 9 will really work because it doesn't get sunlight anyway. So even no matter how big of an atmosphere it has, if it doesn't receive sunlight, it won't warm up anyway. So yeah, there we go. There is that all done. So yeah, if we line them all up now, we've still done the main 9 objects in the solar system. So yeah, we've got Jupiter there, which is just enormous in size for some reason. It's weird how this one is pretty broken. I mean, actually, I've sort of fixed it there, actually. And again, I'll just quickly save it, just in case. And just so I have it in liquid form. So there we go. Right, so now if I go into it, all of the planets should have water on it now. So there we go. Right, now we can see the scale. So there is Jupiter. Then we have Neptune here, the very dark swamp-like world. We've got Saturn here, the very like island, hot island sort of area there at 20 degrees. We've got Uranus, the dark forest area. We've got the lovely colonized Venus here. It looks like the vegetation on it's disappeared anyway, but still the atmosphere is thinner, so it looks good like that. We've got Earth the same as it was. Then we have Mars, looking good. Mercury is frozen for some reason. That's very annoying as well, so I guess we'll... Actually, no, Mercury's just probably frozen because it's in a certain area around the sun at the moment. Let me see, whereabouts is it? I'm assuming it's its furthest point in the orbit. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. So that is all of the objects terraformed, remastered. So there we go. So yeah, I've definitely more skilled than I was last time, put it that way, because yeah, last time that was when I just started out with the game, but yeah, I've done it in about half the time compared to when I did it last time, so there's definitely a difference in performance with the game and me, I guess, remastering this video. But yeah, hopefully you guys all enjoyed this video nonetheless, because a lot of people, like I said, had been asking for this for quite a while, and yeah, I was just think I'll do a remastered for it at some point, and yeah, here you go. So hopefully you really enjoyed it. So yeah, we've got all of the objects colonized now, apart from Planet 9, because I don't think it would work anyway, and in theory we don't even know if Planet 9 exists or not, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, we've got all of the main 8 planets done, sorry, plus Pluto as well, looking very, very fine indeed, if I might add as well. I mean, oh, it just looks so good when you add water to it with a white atmosphere there. But yeah, there we go. So that is all of the planets now. So yeah, guys, leave a like down below. Let's see if we can go for 50 likes on this video, guys, for the whole colonized solar system of objects. And yeah, subscribe if you're new. Helps on the journey to 9,000 subscribers, guys. Make sure you all have a great day. Any more ideas for another video, let me know down below. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.